And I never forget somebody putting their hand on my forehead and said, "What happened to you?" And excuse my language, and I said, "What the fuck do you think happened to me?" I said, "A skyscraper just fell on top of me." And he says, "I'm sorry." He says, "I'm a New York City police detective. I want to help you. Is there anyone I can contact?" And I said, "There's two people, most two important people in my life. My mother and my fiancée, who is now my wife, Diane." After a few hours had gone by and ophthalmology checked my eye out, they put a patch on my eye, and they were ready to admit me to the hospital. And I said, hell fucking no. I picked up a phone, I called my office, and I said, "You bring me the size large underwear." I said, "You bring me a new pair of uniforms." I said, "You bring me something to put on my feet," because my boots were melted. My boots were gone. They had cut them off me. All my clothes were taken from me. They gave me my personal effects as far as my wallet and my jewelry, and that was it when they decontaminated me upon arrival. And I went back to Ground Zero that night. And I stood there till about 11:30 at night. I went home to New Jersey. I was living in Bergen County at the time in a town called Garfield. And I went into my fiancée's arms, and I cried. My life had been saved. The next day, the next morning, 7 a.m., got in my supervisor truck and went back to Ground Zero. September 13th, 7 a.m., I went back to Ground Zero. September 14th, I went back to Ground Zero. I did that for 497 hours. I put in at Ground Zero. I was there till December. I had done everything from bucket brigade to search and rescue to try to bring Bobby's son home, to try to bring Manny's uncle home, to try to bring everyone's loved ones home. Unfortunately, we were unsuccessful in bringing everyone's loved ones home. There were over 1,000 bodies that were never recovered. Robert Weiss from the New York City Fire Department, Kenneth Van Auken, who you saw in the video earlier, their bodies were never found. To this day, they're still finding body parts in the sewers and in the roofs of the building adjacent to Ground Zero. In December of 2001, I went to my boss and I said, "I've had enough." He says, "Charlie, you could have had off this assignment months ago." I said, "I know, but I chose to be there. It was what my lifelong dream was to be an EMT and to take care of those in need." So he says, "Well, I want you to take a week, 2-week vacation, take the time you need, and then come back fresh." I said, "No, you don't understand. I'm done." I handed him my ID card. I handed him my shield, which he would not accept. He let me keep my shield. And I had then left Citywide Mobile Ambulance. In January of 2002, my fiancée, now wife Diane, her and I took a trip down to Barnegat, New Jersey in Ocean County to visit some friends. And we went house hunting. And we found a little house. Perfect little ranch. Perfect little house. Be a great place to start a new family. So we bought the house. People said, "Charlie, you're crazy. Your first visit and you're going to buy a house." I said, "That's right, I'm going to buy a house." And I was happy. I was content. In March of 2002, I closed on the house. March 23rd, 2002, I was rushed to Southern Ocean County Hospital in severe respiratory distress and chest pains. My fingers had twisted backwards. Southern Ocean County Hospital did not know how to deal with me. They had never seen anything like it. I was coughing up black junk like you would not believe. So they transferred me to a specialty hospital, Deborah Heart and Lung Center. They admitted me. They started respiratory care on me. They placed me on a steroid called prednisone, which I'm sure most of you have heard of. Well, let's fast forward because I don't want to tell you every year of my life. In 2004, I became totally disabled. I had a right hip replacement due to the effects of the prednisone, which cuts blood loss to the body, to the bones. And by then I had been diagnosed with about maybe 7 or 8 diagnoses. Today, I stand before you, 17 diagnoses, 19 hospitalizations, and I take 37 medications a day to stay alive. I'm treated by the 9/11 World Trade Center Health and Compensation Center of Excellence. Not Workers' Compensation, excuse me. World Trade Center Centers of Excellence. Thank you. Sorry, John. I get nervous when I speak sometimes. They've taken care of me as much as they can with the money they can. And they do a good job. But over the years, my health has deteriorated more and more and more. As I told you, 37 medications. For a 42-year-old guy who was never this chubby, it's a lot. In 2007 came tragedy to my family. The government hadn't done shit for 9/11 first responders, and excuse my language, but now comes the part when I start getting angry. The government did shit for us. My medical bills were mounting, and in 2007 I lost my house. I blame that on President Bush, the bastard that he is. Mind you, I was a staunch Republican, like somebody else said. I think Manny said it earlier. But he was an outright bastard because he broke his promise to us that he made on Ground Zero. Oh, you guys are great. We honor you. We love you. We thank you for everything you're doing. You're going to have everything you need. Bullshit! He gave us nothing. Since 9/11, we have lost 895 first responders have died. That is tragic. That is horrible. That is a travesty. These people didn't have to die, but they died because our government has done crap for us. I became disabled, couldn't work anymore. So I moved into a little apartment with my wife and my 2 daughters, Caitlin and Clarissa, duplex apartment.